we've been having some very spring-like weather here on the mountain early in the year for us. I've even been seeing some light green buds and growth on some of the bushes and the trees. So long as we don't have a very hard or prolonged freeze or frost, we may have just an early spring this year, which I can't complain about because I love spring. I'm getting ready to plant some microgreen seeds here inside the house, but today was a rainy day and there was definitely a chill in the air, so we have a nice fire going and I'm listening to the sounds of the chickens laying eggs, which is a huge blessing, and I have some stew getting started on the stove. I thought I'd sit here fireside for a moment and answer some of the more common questions or comments that I get, because I'm not able to answer every single comment and go back and answer the ones that come in later, but there are some themes that I notice in terms of questions and comments. And one of the ones that I find to be a really interesting discussion, because I have a blog post on our website called Romanticizing an Ordinary Life, and I'll get questions or comments about me doing my daily outdoor chores, taking care of the chickens, the gardens, the property, the house, my inside chores, and maybe doing those in my work dresses or my gardening dresses or the coat that I wear, just comments like that. And whether or not that's just for the videos or if that's how I do things in my daily life. And the answer is yes and no. So there are days, just like we all have, where I stay in my pajamas the whole day and I do the boring part of my work, or I am scrubbing behind objects in the bathroom, and there's absolutely nothing redeemably romantic about that. But over the last few years, I know, buddy, it's just wet out there and your paws keep getting muddy. I know, just hang on one sec. And I know. Hold on. However, over the last few years, I have really enjoyed this idea of romanticizing ordinary life, making things special. And part of the reason why I decided to start doing that is that I feel like most people today do not make ordinary life special. Things have gotten very casual in our society, and there's nothing wrong with having a casual day. But if you look at pictures, vintage pictures from times gone by, you will see how women went out to run their errands or how they went about their daily chores. And you can see the vast difference between how they put themselves together then and how we tend to put ourselves together now. And I was really fascinated by this idea of making the ordinary things in life special, of being in the moment and finding the beauty and the awe in those little moments of life that we would normally just consider mundane. I have to go check the stew. I'll be right back. And I talked about this a little bit in the video that I did about finding beauty in an ordinary life or in the ordinary things. And I have to say that it's really changed my perspective on my day-to-day life. I think in our modern world, with all of the entertainment that we have available to us, we have lost some of our wonder in the things that we would consider simple or ordinary or mundane. I even went outside, it was either last night or a couple nights ago, and I looked up and the stars were just brighter than normal, and I thought to myself, imagine what it must have been like just 100 years ago to step outside at night with no light pollution, and what the sky must have looked like, something that most of us have been deprived of. in our modern society. We know that in the scripture it says that God has displayed his attributes everywhere in creation so that man is without excuse. Man is without excuse for believing that there is a creator because God has displayed the wondrous elements of his presence and his character all through creation. The way that he intricately designs flower petals and the stars in the sky and the mountains and the waters, and how beautiful those things are. And even the little things in day-to-day life, like the sound of the fire, the sound of the chickens laying the eggs, the crackle of the food on the stove, the smell that it releases through the house. These are things that romanticize, in ordinary life. It's about taking our focus out of the greater noise of the world and tuning it in to intentionally find the, quote, simple, ordinary, daily things to be wondrous. And that has been such a tremendously beautiful shift in perspective for me in my life. And making things a little bit extra fancy sometimes, wearing the apron, wearing a work dress to do the chicken chores, it just, for me, it's not for everybody, but for me it makes those quote-unquote mundane things just feel extra special. And I just personally have enjoyed that perspective and that experience, so I hope that that answers your question. Rosie! Chick, chick! I'm coming, chick, chick! Oh, how lovely. Where's Lucy? There you are. Did you do this? Is this your beautiful masterpiece? Thank you, sweetie pie. Thank you. Roro. Say hi. My chatty one. Ginger. Look, you're all grown up. Chick chicks.